What is live projection? Well, that's when a film is being shown while the score is being played live by an orchestra. It's nice, but it's become common. But watching a live projection with hundreds or perhaps thousands of people all tripping on bug powder, well, now that's something unique. Welcome to the Naked Lunch Live Experience. Naked Lunch is the surreal world of William Burroughs and David Cronenberg put to film, with an orchestra score by Howard Shore and the improvisations of my father, Ornette Coleman, and the compositions that he wrote. It all creates this universe. The concert hall becomes the trippy world of Interzone. When we play this music live with the orchestra in front of the film on a huge screen, it is surreal as it gets.
I'd like you to meet a friend of mine. He specializes in sexual ambivalence.
Sexual ambulance, did you say? Oh, God.
He's called Mugwump.
When I started writing Naked Lunch, people offered their opinions. Disgusting, they said. Pornographic, un-American trash, unpublishable. Well, it came out in 1959, and it found an audience. Town meetings, book burnings, and an inquiry by the state Supreme Court. That book made quite a little impression. Now, 30 years later, Hollywood, in its infinite wisdom, has turned it into a movie.
William Burroughs is one of the most important figures of the Beat Generation, who published a novel, Naked Lunch, in 1959. Canadian director David Cronenberg directed the film adaptation of Naked Lunch, and he did so with great pleasure because his favourite writer has always been Burroughs. It's a surrealist science fiction drama. You're about to enter a world that you definitely have never seen before. It will have you questioning what's real and what is unreal at several stages throughout the film. But be reminded that this is absolutely out of the ordinary. The narrative, the adaptation, plot, and the way the film proceeds, you're going to be stunned even if you've not read the book. Burroughs moved to a section of Tangier, Morocco, known as the International Zone, and that is where our very own place of Interzone in the film actually comes from.
And Ornette and I, we met in the 70s when I booked him on Saturday Night Live. I was the music director at that time. And that was with Prime Time. And he did a recording with Jujuka called Midnight Sunrise, which you actually hear in Naked Lunch in the film. And I knew of that recording, and I played that for Cronenberg, who I was working with on Naked Lunch. He said that sounded like the Interzone national anthem.
Video I have of Burroughs and you and I in the tent.
Yeah.
Really.
A great event that occurred in the mountains of Morocco. We don't have any of the music from Suzuka to go on the soundtrack, do you?
Oh, yeah.
No, I guess
yeah. How did you guys get together at that point in time?
Well, Bob Palmer had a good deal to do with it because he'd been up there several times. And had
yet, you know, one thing I've always wondered about, you remember when I came back when Geisen took me up to Jujuka and I played with the musicians up there and I brought back those tapes and you listened to them and to my incredible surprise he said, let's go, let's get an organization together and go up and make a record with those guys, and we went and did it. What did you hear in those tapes that made you want to do that? Because it was, you know, we were
I was telling someone the other day when I was in New Orleans, I was playing in a sanctified church, and you know, in most churches, the pianos are so out of tune that they be playing the key of Z, K, P, T, H. And I took my horn in this sanctified church, and I played the same way I'm playing now. But when I heard those tapes, I heard that same quality, only on a much more higher level than religion. It was more on a creative level, because most religion is on an emotional level. This was on a creative level, and that's what really turned me on. I said, I got to go and play with these guys. because I could see that for once I would be able to play whatever passed through my heart and head without ever having to worry about whether it's right or wrong.
William Lee, I have arranged all this just to have a moment alone with you. I am your case officer.
What?
Hey, where you going? Don't do it, don't do it. There'll be hell to pay.
One adult and 2 children, please.
I can think of at least 2 things wrong with that title.
You know, we've been watching the film and listening to the score and the soundtrack, and you know, looking at the music just to get a place, you know, and the environment and just the atmosphere. The atmosphere that now Charnett and I, of course, have performed it together live, so there's like a basis there.
Do you think you could rub some of this powder on my lips?
Sure.
Well, now, as you might have expected, I have instructions for you from Control. It's about a little woman.
Giving us the 30-second mark right there. We performed this concert a few times with my father, but for this performance, we're going to be joined by both Ravi Coltrane and Henry Threadgill, both incredible people that my father really respected and enjoyed. They're going to be joined by the Signal Ensemble, the orchestra that will be playing the Howard Shore score, conducted by Brad Lubman. This is going to be the 4th time we've played this concert. The 3 other times with my father were in Belfast, in London at the Barbican, in Tokyo, and now here in New York at Lincoln Center. Naked Lunch Live is an experience, a trip into Interzone.
You're just gonna have to leave town, and Interzone is the only place that'll have a shady character like you.